Alright, yeah, hello. Now, I know you're looking at the title and you're thinking, now, what's this? Impossible Creatures LP finished yesterday. And this is very confusing for me because I'm recording this before I'm uploading part 18. Because I actually finished the entire LP by around part 5. Which is kind of, it made me a bit sad because there were a couple of other people like, oh, can I have a creature? And it was just sort of like, ah, shit, sorry. I got a bit carried away. The game was too much fun to just leave alone. So I apologise if you wanted a creature and you didn't get it. I do humbly apologise. I also know... Oh, I died. Hang on. Let me go have a look at the comments, because... oh, God. So our fucking YouTube layout is so hideous and disgusting. Just horrid. Where is the person? I can't remember. God, I really should have sorted this out beforehand. I do apologise, but there is someone that I wanted to... Hang on. I think it was at like part 5 or something. I will find the fucking comment. I will find it. Actually, hang on. If we go to my channel... Yeah, this is just not a great start at all, is it? No, I don't want to update. Oh, I want to upgrade my channel or something. Piss off. Where is it? There you go. I think Mayan or Mayan Keycurse or something. I'm pretty sure you wanted a creature and I completely spaced your name. So I do apologise for that. Like I say, I know I recorded the last part like at least 15 times trying to get it right, but yeah, it's so difficult. I know Gerbil's been playing along. I don't know how you thought about the final mission, Gerbil, but I thought it was fucking hell. I don't know, maybe I'm just really thick. But anyway, like I say, at the end of that episode, I did a kind of mini shitty review, and looking back on it, I didn't really talk about everything I wanted to talk about, and I didn't really talk about anything in great depth, because it was just like, I'd won, I'd beaten Prickface McGee, and I was happy, and I wanted to leave it there. So, I'm just gonna take a small amount of your time. I'll try and find a funny picture for you to look at, and maybe that'll keep you entertained. Alright, first, I want to talk about Lucy versus Rex, because, you know, I want to talk about it from a modern perspective. You know, just the way... Well, I say modern. I don't think we're a modern society. I think we're going backwards. But that's me. Yeah. But in this day and age, when you look at Lucy versus Rex, Lucy has got to be one of the most progressive female characters I think I've seen in gaming. I mean, when you compare it to, say, like, I don't know, Lara Croft or Bayonetta. Bayonetta's kind of a bit iffy because she's being ironically fetishistic, but, you know, I suppose she's kind of got a handle on the situation, but ultimately Lucy looks alright. She's strong, she can fix her own shit, she's far more intelligent than the bloke of the team. She can, I'm pretty sure she can heal the animals if you get a power up for, or you get one of the research thingies done. Yeah, she can do all kinds of shit, and yet Rex is just a bumbling idiot who can only really shoot a gun and just gets random power-ups because story said so. Either they, like, you know, the stereotypes like, Felika the Pet, was it? The Moes, the Eskimos or Inuits or whatever. I know I'll be sued for racism somewhere, but, you know, the way that they stereotype them kind of make the fact that Lucy was far different to any stereotype then just stand out more. Lucy and Rex just stood out completely against all the other characters in the game. I like that. Next, I want to talk about the mechanics. There's nothing particularly wrong with the mechanics of the game. Like I say, it does work quite well. There are a couple of things, like, as I'm pretty sure I touched on the pathfinding. The AI, like Rex, got stuck on fucking teeny-weeny armadillos tons of times, that kind of thing. But, I compared to, say, Command & Conquer Red Alert, which is a game I really enjoyed. I had a lot of fun with that. The pathfinding's not much different. I'm pretty sure the AI in Red Alert can actually maneuver around certain things, and I will admit that sometimes your creatures do get stuck on each other, which can get a bit of a pain in the arse, as I'm sure you can imagine. But overall, it's not too bad. I also think that they could probably make more use of some of the powers. You know, like, again, the Animal Kingdom is chock full of random abilities and shit, and they didn't really touch on many of them. And you could, Lobster and, say, Scorpion. I'm pretty sure, you know, they have their own unique things they can do in the animal world, and I think they just sort of scratch the surface on some of the things that the animals can really do. So yeah, that's the mechanic. The story, as I've said so many times, is just beyond help. It's pretty grim. The ending as well. The ending was, oh my god. The ending may as well have just said, look, we're gonna make a sequel! Look, its eyes, they turned and died. Ah. Either that or it was just a piss take. It might have just been spoofing something. It just kind of felt like the entire story, they just looked at movies at the time and like, oh, King Kong, yeah, we'll nab that, we'll nab a bit of that. I also really hate that. They build up Lucy as a really strong, independent character, and then, oh, giant gorilla! Ah, she can't fight that! Take that, you bitch! So, kind of undermined the whole theme they had going there. I don't even know if it was a theme. I think that's the problem with trying to review games. You don't know what the mindset of the people who made the fucking thing was, but from my point of view, the way they portrayed Lucy just sort of got shat on a bit by introducing Giant Monkey that you don't even fight in the end, man. Don't even fight it in the end. I mean, unless those two gorillas outside of Julius's base were the big gorilla things, but come on. The gorilla that stole Lucy was like the size of a flat apartment complex thing. Well, what happened to that? I wanted to beat that up. Cody was going to rape it. So yeah, the story is just no. The graphics, personally, I didn't mind them. That's kind of one of the things I've been telling a lot of people about this game now, because, oh, it's so good. But I keep saying from a 2002 perspective, like, you know, like, oh, you know, the mechanics, oh, it was 2002, there. But from a 2013 perspective, when you look at the retardedly good graphics technology we have, they're alright. You know, if you shed a tear because the sort of texture on some rocks is bad, well, that's you, and you can go play Final Fantasy 13. The texture on the rocks are amazing there. The game lacks all depth just at all, but rock texture, amazing. So yeah, I think if the graphics were a lot worse, I mean, like I say, I had the settings on maximum break your PC back then mode. So I don't know, maybe back then, if you had a PC, you know, the graphics card would be pretty piss awful. Maybe it looked quite bad, but from today, now, when, again, you compare things like Command and Conquer, looks alright. It's not a deal breaker. If you can get past some of the dodgy graphics and the fact that sometimes the creatures clip into themselves, but most of the time when you consider what you're doing, they actually don't. Like I say, I think one of the if you combine something with a fish, sometimes that starts to clip into itself a fair bit. And I'm pretty sure you might have noticed when you go into the creature builder, occasionally the sprites are completely fucked up, but you exit out, you go back in, and it sorts itself. So there are a couple of little niggles with the graphics that you can kind of get around. The balancing is horrific. Next to the story, it's probably one of the worst things about the game. Like I say, I know they released a patch that sorted some of the problems. I know they depowered the shit out of the lobster, but the patch also broke the game, so they kind of lose brownie points on that one. Like, seriously, I think it was there to stop people pirating it, which is kind of weird for how old the game was. I didn't realise pirating was around back then. Oh well. So, yeah, they're just trying to stop people pirate the game, but they released a patch and it ended up fucking a lot of the games that were actually bought. So, they do lose a bit of brownie points on that one, but to their credit, they did try and balance the game out a bit. They looked at the lobster and were like, whoa, okay, combine it with anything and you win. Alright, let's change that. So they tried, you know, fixing the balancing, but again, there's about three animals you can use. You get the lobster, you get the chameleon, and you get that motherfucking poo-flinging monkey piece of shit. You combine it with anything, you win. Really? Alright, the lobster is OP as balls, it regenerates, it has stupid defense, and you combine it with the sperm whale, it has about, what, 1200 HP? Alright? Short of poofling in monkeys, there's very little that's going to kill that. What I did with Terry in the end when I, you know, sort of pussied out and didn't go lemming whale, I went elephant whale. That has got a stupid amount of defense, amazing health, and it can hit multiple enemies. And the elephant, I think, gets a herding bonus, so you get a defense bonus on top of that. Alright, and then the chameleon, that is probably the best anti-air thing there is, because you can just stack them up and you'll one-shot just about anything that flies. All the flying stuff just sucks, because both defense towers can hit flying stuff, and the anti-air towers rapes anything that flies. Like, the ground towers don't kill ground units completely, but the anti-air towers seem to just demolish anything that flies. And 90% of the maps have got anti-air towers on them, so there is that. And yeah, monkeys. Goebbels told me he actually tried out giraffe monkeys. Apparently they are OP as balls even when you use them. If you get enough of them together, you win. That's it, it's done. Nothing can stop you if you have poofling in monkeys, which is just like, what the fuck, man? I can't use them. I know that AI can use them just impressively well. Because part of it is you sort of got to try and micromanage the way you send them in, because if you have units in front of them, they're just going to kill the units as well. But Goebbels has said that they are very good. The difficulty curve of the campaign, at least, is all over the place. Like, I'm pretty sure there was that level where you got to escort some blokes round an island, and that was like piece of piss, no trouble whatsoever. And then wasn't the next level the follicular pet one, which was really difficult? I'm pretty sure, but on the follicular pet, like I say, they sort of balance the AI and the difficulty to match the amount of players you're against. And like the last level was really difficult because the AI on Ganglion and Julius was really good, and the only way you could get anywhere was to kill Ganglion as quickly as possible. But you know, the map again, you know, the terrain helped it out and made it more of a challenge. So the difficulties, it hasn't really got a difficulty curve, but individually the missions, some of the difficulty's quite good. Some of it is downright unfair, like the mission before the last one. Fucking time limit? Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that was the worst mission by far. Seriously, that mission was disgusting. Who thought that was a good fucking idea? Alright, it's not a racing game, it's not a crappy shooter. And, whatever. So yeah, the difficulty curve is interesting. But, like I say, that last mission, I mean, part of the thing that pissed me off about that was, one, the reason it was there was the, like, pulled out of the sweatiest arse on the development team. Like, oh, this is where he drops all of his bad stuff. Oh, there's a virus now, and because you're from the Sigma Chamber Rex, you got 15 minutes for some reason to get over there and shove some of the potion in your face, and then you'll be okay. And then on top of that, making the monsters randomly, like, not only disobey you, but then attack you when you have a limited time to build enough to go try and beat the shit out of the thing anyway? That's just wrong. So, no, I do not like that level. Once you get past it, Goebbels rapes it, but just, ugh. It effectively forces you, you can't kill any of the hazards, you have to run through them. That's bad design. If you can't deal with what's in front of you, then you're gonna fail most of the time. The AI is one of the things that I find most impressive about the game. Like I say, I've lost quite a lot, and part of that was because I just didn't prepare, you know, quickly enough. If you don't prepare quickly enough, the AI takes advantage of that and kills you. But there are a couple of times, like, I remember in the mission where you fight Ganglion, I was just about to go storm the base, and then it panned back and Lucy had been killed, because like two flying wolverines had just sort of crept into my base and just killed her and legged it. That's smart. Again, you things like Command and Conquer, I never noticed stuff like that happen. You can deal with most of the threats relatively easily. So I think the AI is actually a lot smarter than I thought it was, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people thought it was. I don't know how they pulled it off, but it's pretty ingenious. And again, the way that they manage their units, I find is really impressive. Like I say, they know to keep the giraffe monkeys to the back, and they always make sure they send in the right amount of stuff, even if they have the artillery fish things. They can use those really well. So I think they're really good. And, they know how to sort of hit the right thing. I think the AI is truly impressive. Alright, so we're at 15 minutes, and this next one is probably going to take a reasonable amount of time. I know I touched on it again, and I got really angry about it, but, it's the prospect of a sequel or a remake, okay? One of the things that I wanted to talk about was, Bayonetta. I know I talked about it right at the start. Bayonetta is my second favourite game. Like, ever, completely, behind Halo 3. I have a really weird list of favourite games. It's like Halo 3, Bayonetta, Army of Two, like one of the best co-op games ever. Tales of Vesperia, what is that fifth one? Oh, I can't think of it off the top of my head right now. I just forget the fifth. The fifth one's kind of a hazy area, but the top four, just, yeah. One of the reasons that I liked it so much was because Platinum Inc. I remember reading, or Platinum Games Inc., whatever. I remember reading as soon as Bayonetta came out, because, like I say, I really liked the game. And I was looking forward to, seeing what they'd do with it. But I know, and I swear to Christ, I don't know if I can find it now, but I saw a comment on the Platinum Games webpage. There would not be a sequel or DLC because they knew the game was good enough. That says a lot to me. That's confidence. That your game is that good that you don't need to make anything else. Making anything else would be a disservice to it. And then they go off and they make a fucking sequel for the Wii U. Now, a lot of people people got quite angry about this, and a lot of other people told the fanboys to shut up, and okay, that's fair enough. They're allowed to do whatever they want, but Bayonetta had a pretty hardcore fan base. And I think it was kind of unfair to sort of spout that crap and then just turn around and say, hey, not only are we going to make a sequel, we're going to develop it for an entirely different console that you're going to have to pay quite a lot of money for just to try it. If you want to play the sequel to a great game, you actually end up having to shell out 400 quid for a console that hasn't got many games and has a stupid gimmick. I'm not a big fan of Nintendo. I can't imagine why. So yeah, like I say, that was one of my favourite things about the game before they friggin' did a massive U-turn and shat on their consumer base. But again, like stuff like that, companies that say, flat out, we will not make a sequel, get a sequel. And fine, alright, Bayonetta was a good game, but it wasn't something that demanded a sequel. Impossible Creatures would be about 1,000 times better with what we have now. Alright, you could fix all the pathfinding, you could touch up all the mechanics. You could probably go find Capcom. I'm sure Capcom could probably write a better story, to be honest. It would be awful, but it would probably be better. So you can employ Capcom to write a better fucking story. If the graphics mean that much to you, the technology we have now, it probably cost about 5p to touch them up, make them a bit better. You could actually hire a bigger team to focus on the balancing. I mean, you look at StarCraft, they've got tons of people who probably test the damn thing to see if they can balance the game a bit better. You could sort out the difficulty curve a bit more. You could get play testers to play through the game and see how they feel about it. The AI, you could probably make it a bit better. But like I say, on premise alone, this game is the most ingenious game I've seen for God knows how long. The only thing that comes close to me is there's a Steam game, I think it's an indie game called Antichamber. I don't know if you've ever seen it or heard of it, but I'd go pick it up. It's about 15 quid, which is a bit of a rip-off. Maybe wait for a Steam sale. But it's a Portal-style game, but the more you play it, the further away it gets from Portal. But it's a complete mindfuck, and it's, again, it's something you don't see anymore. Originality. Like I say, you can have your CODs, you can have your Halo 75,000s, and that new thing Bungie making actually looks pretty cool, but, like I say, on premise alone, this game is more interesting than anything that's come out in God knows how long. You know, just... And again, it's a bottomless mine. The whole world is full of millions and millions and millions of animals, all with individual different traits that they've evolved with. You have a gold mine. You could put DLC packs out for years. You could make a mint off of this. All you have to do is just remake it. I don't understand. Like I say, just take the game. I mean, they don't even have to change the story. Just touch up the graphics, leave the AI, maybe focus on the balancing a bit. But, like I say, there is an unlimited possibility of how many things you could add to this game. And yeah, you know, Call of Duty's getting, what is it, 10th? Is it the 10th game that will be coming out this year? Halo's already going to get 5 and 6. You know, just... It really just annoys me and frustrates me. And the only reason it happens is because we keep buying the same fucking games. And as long as we buy them, they'll keep making them. And, you know, amazing games like Impossible Creatures is just never going to get a look in. It never will. And another thing that could benefit from a remake is like, well, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, they could probably do to touch up the combat on that. I mean, I hate remakes, I despise them, they take no effort, but come on, a game that's this old but this amazing deserves something. Whether it's a sequel or a remake, I don't care, but you'd end up, you could have a game with incredible amounts of depth. You could have an online, play that's probably better than StarCraft. If you balance it right, then people can use just about anything and have their own armies and enjoy themselves. Fuck, there is an actual, sort of online society for Impossible Creatures. A lot of people still play the game. I don't know, guys. I really don't, but yeah, that I just wanted to sort of go over what I think of the game a bit more in depth. Yeah, it's not perfect. Yeah, it's not in my top 5 manly list of games that I love to pieces and always will love. But it deserves something. It deserves a bit more. It doesn't deserve to just be left on a shelf somewhere. I mean, like I say, part of, I was talking to my dad about it and a couple of my friends, and they kind of reckon that maybe Microsoft don't actually have the rights to this anymore. It might actually be the developers. Maybe someone just bought it and forgot about it. Maybe that's why it hasn't got a sequel, but seriously, if anyone does know what's happened to this game, it needs something. I don't know, just a tribute. Because it's seriously an ingenious, amazing idea. And in this world of bland, repetitive, stupid, arbitrary, crappy first-person shooters, Final Fantasy's out the arse. Oh man, I need to do something on Final Fantasy 13. I actually LP'd it, but the LP was so shit that I just deleted it, so... But, just, Final Fantasy 13 is literally the... Final Fantasy now is, one thing that keeps getting sequels and sequels and sequels, and it has no need for it. The best has come and gone. This game, this concept has untapped potential in it somewhere. Well, that made me feel slightly better. It will never get a sequel. It will never get a remake. Unless, 1 million people pledge to buy it, but... It deserves something. I think you'd all agree. Like I say, yeah. So this will be the end of the LP. I might actually have another crack at it sometime in the future. Not for a long time yet. Just because I felt I didn't do the LP much justice either. It was funny, but, part 11, I accidentally deleted the first bit. That pissed me off no end. Frapp spazzed a couple of times in 15 and a lot in part 16 and a lot in 17 and 18. So yeah, I'd quite like to give it another crack, but like I say, not for a few years. Yeah, I need the game to pass out of my memory before I have another go. But like I say, a couple of people said, "Oh God, I remember this game. It was amazing," and just I've never heard a bad word said against it. Yeah, there are problems with it, but people just had fun with it. This game was like my childhood. It was insane. You have no idea what it's like to be a 9-10-year-old kid and see this. Just like, whoa! Where has this been all my life? Oh, so yeah, that's my review thing-ish. Thank you all. I know I said this again, the last part, but thank you all so much for watching. Like I say, I'm just about to upload the last part. You've all been fantastic sports. I know it's only like maybe 15, 20 people watching, but you know, Gerbil stuck through the entire thing and played along with me. You know, so Maya and Kikus, you've watched quite a lot of it, and you've left some nice comments. Oh, I know there's another person. There's another one that I wanted to pay service. Yeah, Mr. the Red Dragon. I'm so sorry that I completely cut you. Yeah, I thought you were TML. That is my bad, sir. But you like I say, you've been a fantastic sport. You know, you've all been just really great. And again, I didn't expect a lot of people to watch it, but the few people who have, you've been champions. So thank you very much. You are the kind of people that make doing this worth it. You know, normally I'd just play through the game, finish it, and then just leave it again. But like I say, you've kind of given it a reason to come to life a bit more. So thank you all so much. I hope you have enjoyed this, quite frankly, amazing game and my little mini rant at the end. God, it's 26 minutes. That's not mini! Fuck! I was wanting 10 minutes, not 26. Whatever. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you all so much, and hopefully we can have some more interesting LPs to come. Anyway, I'll see you guys in a bit. Peace.